Ladies and gentlemen, Canadian soccer supporters out there, 24 hours later, I've collected my thoughts. I've digested the unbelievable removing of Octavio Zambrano as Canadian men's national team head coach and replacing him with John Herdman from the women's national team program. He is your new men's head coach. Last night, I was absolutely disgusted. I was absolutely appalled, shocked, dumbfounded, embarrassed. But I thought about it today. And I talked to a couple people who I respect and I hold near and dear to my heart. And I will tell you this, I will always put the flag ahead of any coach, ahead of any board, ahead of anything else. I will always put the flag first. I will put it ahead of you, John Herdman. I'm surprised how this all went down. I heard rumblings, and I knew this a few months ago, that this could be a possibility in the new year sometime. Not as early and not as quick as it happened, but it's happened. And that's fine. It's done and over with now. We move forward. But here's what I don't understand. I don't understand how come in this country we talk about governance, we talk about transparency, we talk about honesty, and we talk about equality. All those things we talk about in this country at the board level, at the Canadian Soccer Association. We talk about all those things. Well, if we talk about those things, how come we weren't given the opportunity to have guys like Mark Dos Santos, Carmen Asako, Mauro Biello, Enzo Conchina, and others the opportunity, the fair shot to be given the keys, even temporary, until the next head coach was given the keys full time. One guy that I mentioned in those four, I would give the full-time keys to him, and with 100% support and believe he could get the job done, is Mark Dos Santos. Mark Dos Santos should have been given the keys even before this last hiring of Octavio Zambrano. I believe he could have got the job done. Everywhere he's gone, he's proven with his track record, he's won. Everywhere he's gone, players love him. Players have rallied around him. Mark Dos Santos, Carmen Asako, Mauro Biello, Enzo Conchina, all have track records. Do you, John Herdman? You've got 2 bronze medals in the women's game. Have you, John, won a big-time game when you've coached the women? How about the USA? Have you ever taken down that giant? No. No. Have you ever coached a men's game at a competitive level? No. These men have. All that I've mentioned. This to me smells. This to me has all the makings of something very, very wrong. Very smelly, very dubious, rotten. Absolutely rotten. So now the decision is made to give John Herdman the keys completely. If I'm the women that I just left from that program, I'd be absolutely upset, devastated, confused, and absolutely betrayed. Christine Sinclair, a Hall of Famer, a world-class player, someone that so many little girls all over Canada look up to and will always look up to, never says very much. She's all class. She's a wonderful athlete, a wonderful role model. Tweeted out, speechless. What does that tell you? So, John, you have a big job ahead of you to win people over like me, who have loved the Canadian men's national team program and have died with it for 48 years. I've been ridiculed, laughed, mocked at for living and breathing Canadian soccer. I've attended Canadian matches all over the world. I have Canadian flags, paraphernalia, all sorts of memorabilia in my basement, more than anyone else in this country, bar none. You've got to win me over and many across this country with results. You, my friend, should be given, John, the same amount of rope, just like Octavio Zambrano. Octavio had pretty good success at the Gold Cup. So with some big-time games coming up for Canada, friendlies, and a big-time tournament coming up in September, I hope you're given the same amount of rope. I hope you're given the same amount of criticism, because you haven't banked any bonus points or any credibility in the men's game at all. So you should not be given any extra leeway or time at all. Why should you? Octavio wasn't. At all. You shouldn't either. You should be treated just the same way. So after 2-3 games, friendlies, and maybe a big tournament in September, you don't do well, I hope the people will be calling for you as well to be dismissed and fired. Simple as that. What you did, John, with all due respect, if it's true and if I understand it about the England situation, forcing the hand the way it was forced, wow, to me, you right now have absolutely so much to lose and very little to gain. The women's program is hurt right now. The men's program right now is upside down. I've received so many phone calls, so many messages from players, former coaches, former players in the program, alumni, that are shaking their head. They don't understand anymore about the Canadian program and where it's going. They have absolutely been blindsided by this move. But again, I will go back to the flag. We put the flag first ahead of any coach. I will support you only if you can get us to the World Cup through the World Cup qualification. But guess what, John? Have you ever coached a game in the CONCACAF region? No. Do you understand what a beast and what an unbelievable tough ordeal it is to go and compete there to get a spot into the World Cup? Ask Bruce Arena and the USA. Ask Jurgen Klinsmann. Ask Benito Floro. Ask all sorts of others before you. You've never coached a game. You don't understand what it means to have urine bags thrown at you in CONCACAF qualify. You don't understand what it means to have nickels, quarters, dimes, and all sorts of other things thrown at you. This isn't the women's game anymore. With all due respect to the women's game, you've did an unbelievable, wonderful job there. You, with the players, of course, put them on the map. You did great things. This is totally different. People that are responsible behind the scenes to orchestrate this, to put this together, you need to be spotlighted. You need to be put front and center, and people need to know who you were that helped put this together, that helped orchestrate this together. Because if this doesn't work out, you might as well blow up Canadian soccer forever and start from scratch and put in real football people, real business people, not people that don't know jack all, not people that have agendas behind the scenes. You know who you are. You know who you are. The last thing is this, John. CPL is very important to me and many people that have worked behind the scenes tirelessly to put this dream into reality. In the next few days, we're going to hear many positive things. You need to wrap yourself, embrace yourself in the CPL banner. You need to engage, you need to listen, you need to attend and do everything you can to be involved at the CPL level in a positive way. If I ever hear, John, that you're not a fan of CPL, that you don't agree with it, that you feel that there's other ways to get players and other ways to develop them and other ways to bring them onto the national team, I will be your worst nightmare. I will be your worst critic. You will regret the day that you ever go against CPL. Mark my words. So Canada, here we go. An unbelievable moment, an unbelievable day. I will support the flag. I cannot support this decision at all. I'm confused by it. I'm absolutely dumbfounded, shocked, embarrassed. But hey, I'll go ahead with it. But I want to make sure that he gets criticized and he gets the same amount of rope just like Octavio did. I don't care about bronze medals in the women's game. I don't care about a motivator that he was with the women. I want results here at the men. Let's see what you got, John.